Let's get it. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Felt good to get back out here today. The ankle bothered me a little bit. According to this, if you watched yesterday's video, you know I had to finally take a day off because my ankle was just was throbbing. It was in pain yesterday morning, swollen. I couldn't really get it done, but today it felt a whole lot better. That's without the brace. I still got to pick up a brace later and get this thing back going. You know, you're only gonna keep me down for so long. You know, I gotta get out here and get something done. I didn't push it too hard. It's a quick 6 miles, and you know, kind of kept it light. Didn't try to be very light on my feet, so wouldn't bother the ankle and all those kinds of things. All right. So as far in regards to today's Move Swiftly thought, I'm recording this about 10 days away from April, where we're already at quarter one. We're already almost through quarter one in 2024. And I've been in some situations. I've been in some situationships with women. All right, been in some situationships with women, and this inspired today's move. So all of the situation. It's been several situationships, whether it's just meeting someone, certain women not liking me anymore, or this, that, and the third. Some women liking me, not liking me, back and forth. There's been several situationships that I don't have time to give you the full details of, but I'll just give you my overall takeaway from all the situationships I've been in thus far this year. Here it is. Fellas, particularly my fellas out there, my guys, all right? My guys out there in my situation who are, again, out there grinding, doing their thing, but there seems to be a disconnect, right? It seems to be a disconnect. We get a little picky. We're very picky in regards to who we give our time to, give our attention to, because our focus is so much on our work and doing what it is we do to put our stuff out there, where again, the wrong women can completely fuck everything up, right? Here's what we got to understand. Here's what we have to do. Here's today's takeaway from today's Move Swiftly thought. I'm going to tell you a story in a second that's going to confirm it, but here it is. You have got to be very unapologetic about your good looks. You got to be unapologetic about your great sense of humor, your great personality, and your willingness to go out and grind. Your willingness to go out and put forth your best effort every single day can and will be intimidating to some women, and it will make, in many ways, sometimes if you're not understanding what I'm telling you, if you're not understanding that concept, you can feel like there's something wrong with you, and it can fuck your confidence issues up, mess up your confidence, and get you off your path. When I'm telling you, I'm giving you the advice. Your one and only Move Swiftly speaker is giving you the advice. Do not take that route. Understand. You're not for everybody. You're for one person, and one person specifically. You're for a very small percentage of people out there that want to be great, that want to be above average, that want to be in the top 1% or 2% in what it is they do, and they will rise to the top when it comes to who you attract and who you go out and do your business with, and who you work with, who you ultimately decide to spend the rest of your life with. Let me give you an example. It was must have been about 6 or 7 years ago now. Somewhere, actually, no, probably a little less than that, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. This was back when I lived in Plantation, Florida, when I was working at 9 Round. I was working at 9 Round, and in the shopping center of 9 Round. 9 Round's a boxing gym, by the way. So 9 Round is in a shopping center. What's also located in that same shopping center is a restaurant named Japan Inn. And Japan Inn is one of those restaurants, those hibachi restaurants where they cook in front of you. And I would, ever so often, I would go and get the lunch specials there, because it was right there. It was convenient for me. And man, they got some damn good food. They hook you up. They hook you up with some pretty good food. So you get a lunch special there, and they probably takes you, through dinner and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, when you sit down there, you don't have control over who you sit next to. If you've ever been to a Japan Inn or a hibachi or sakuru type of a restaurant, you have no control over who you sit next to. So it just so happened that I was sitting next to two younger ladies. I'll say ladies that looked like they were approaching their early to mid 30s, and they were, they just weren't, we'll say it in a polite way, they were not physically attractive ladies. And again, I don't judge people based on just looks, but they weren't physically attractive ladies. And I was sitting next to them, and I overheard their conversation. Now, it's one thing to not be physically attractive, on the outside. It's a completely different thing to not be physically attracted on the inside and on the outside. That's just fucking, that type of shit just turns my fucking stomach. Because it's one thing when you don't look good physically, but then you make it worse by acting like a fucking asshole, all right? Because this is what I overheard them saying. Again, I had no control over this. It just happened that I happened to be in a situation where I had to overhear this fucking nonsense that they were laying down, right? So obviously, two women get together for lunch. The main topic of discussion is going to be about men, prospects, who they're going to date, who they wouldn't date, who they tried to date, who is in their DMs, who they're Facebooking, or whatever the fuck it is they talk about. All they talk about is men, all right? To the point where I work now, I'm a teacher now, and the majority of my colleagues are women, and every time they start talking that shit, I try to just walk away from it, or cover my ears up, because the conversation gets too exhausting for me when women start talking men, right? So, but anyway, I'm at this Japan Inn, and I'm hearing these two ladies talk about potential suitors and men and things like that, and I overhear one of the girls say, "You know what? I don't be." This is how she said it. I'm telling you right now. This is how she said it to her homegirl. She was talking to her homegirl. She goes, I don't really be, trying to be with no real cute nigga like that, because I want the attention on me. I don't want him to be too fine. I want the attention all on me. I don't want him looking too good. Like, again, I don't know these ladies, but I'm over here. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? So let me just translate that. Let me translate to you what she was actually saying. What she's actually saying is, look, I know I don't look that good. I know I'm not that physically attractive, and if the man that I do find is too fine, then the find is too fine. If the man I find, F-I-N-D, is too fine, F-I-N-E, all right, if he's too fine, then I have to have the pressure of keeping him, because I know I don't have what it takes to keep a good-looking man, right? So my point exactly, and this is why, again, I took that as a good-looking man who's sitting right next to these two and said, you know what? You don't even have even if you were somewhat interested in one of these two ladies, there's no way that I would even consider it, because, again, their personality and their inability to handle being with someone, or the type of stupid shit that they would say in regards to what they're looking for, and how they of all people are judging folks on their looks and things like that. And close out the story, it was a couple weeks later, I was at I think I was at a Panda Express that was in that same area, and I saw one of the two girls. So here's what happened. Them two girls actually ended up getting into a fight. They ended up getting into a fight. One of them stuck the other lady with the bill. They ended up she left her with the bill, the whole thing. They ended up actually leaving, and stuck one of the girls with the bill. So the girl that actually ended up having to pay the bill, I saw her a couple weeks later at a different restaurant. She remembered my face, and we ended up having a conversation about that, even though we didn't talk when I was at the Japan, and she remembered my face and all that. And I again, I kind of brushed off, and then obviously I didn't ask for a number or anything like that. But the point of today's Move Swiftly thought is, again, you gotta be very unapologetic about your looks. You cannot worry about, being too cocky or having too much confidence, because that is the way of the world. The world is going to try to place these average dealings on you, and it's on you to make sure you're living above average. And being above average is very unapologetic about the things that you've been blessed with, about all your blessings. So keep going. Do not worry about the people that have this and that to say. You just got to keep grinding, all right? Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.